The Republican search for a presidential candidate in 1952 narrowed to a contest between Senator Robert Taft of Ohio and General Eisenhower. Each of these men had his own appeal. Senator Taft epitomized what the Republican old guard claimed was the essence of true republicanism: conservative, defender of free enterprise, enemy of the unlimited power of big labor, and advocate of limited involvement in world affairs. Ike's backers saw him as a winner. In their view, only a middle-of-the-road candidate would attract Democratic and independent votes. Ike's brain trust, Paul Hoffman, New York's Governor Tom Dewey, and Massachusetts Senator Cabot Lodge counted on an Eisenhower groundswell in the primaries. Here Lodge describes pre-convention efforts.
We in the Eisenhower for President movement have had some very favorable developments. First, there was the great victory in New Hampshire, in spite of the fact his popularity with Democrats and independents couldn't reflect itself at all in the voting. And yesterday came the news of the great write-in by 100,000 people in the state of Minnesota. I think that is a political explosion greater than anything that has occurred in the Republican Party since the days of Teddy Roosevelt.
Lodge used the Eisenhower victories and tremendous volunteer effort of Ike supporters to demonstrate the grassroots feeling for Eisenhower. Taft supporters challenged Eisenhower as a Democrat in disguise. Ike denied it.
Not only are my roots deep in republicanism, but when I was a small boy in Dickinson County, Kansas, we used to talk about the Democrat like we were talking about the town drunk. Situation has unfortunately changed a bit.
But Senator Taft came to the convention with the firm support of the Republican Party regulars in Congress and the Republican state machine. A bitter dispute arose when 3 states sent rival sets of Taft and Eisenhower delegations to the convention. 2 sets of delegates from each state claimed a single set of credentials. Taft men in control of the Credentials Committee gave the contested seats to the Taft delegations. But the Eisenhower forces took the battle to the floor. They framed the issue well and called their motion the Fair Play Amendment.
The Taft forces made a tactical blunder in making an issue of the proposed change in the party rules. And it seemed to us rather obvious that a delegate should not be permitted to vote on the question as to whether he should sit. When the contest arose, we were on the side of the Angels, and Senator Taft found himself in a very uncomfortable position. I think that probably assured General Eisenhower's nomination.
The national television audience sympathized with Eisenhower and made their reaction known to the convention delegates even as the vote was going on.
107 yes, 531 no, and the minority substitute report is adopted.
This one decision would presently assure the choice of General Eisenhower. On the first ballot, General Eisenhower got 595 votes, 9 short of nomination, but he could not be stopped. There was a rush to climb aboard the bandwagon. Minnesota led the way.
Minnesota wishes to change its vote to Eisenhower.
Ike was now the nominee. Many traditional procedures govern a convention. One calls for a symbolic show of unity by the winner and the loser. This tradition was respected by General Eisenhower and Senator Taft. Another tradition calls for the choice of a vice presidential nominee who is acceptable to the side that lost the presidential nomination. So it was in the case of Richard Nixon, a young senator from California, and his nomination was quickly ratified. Eisenhower now appeared to assume leadership of the Republican Party.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have summoned me on behalf of millions of your fellow Americans to lead a great crusade for freedom in America and freedom in the world. I accept your summons. I will lead this crusade.